Okay, so I think it's day 5 of the backyard makeover. And the backyard is looking like this. That is April the 20th, 2026. We've got the hole dug for the pool. That is the sand and dirt that we are going to use to build up the landscaping and stuff around it and hide the bog filter. And we have trenches dug right here for the to the water source and the electrical box over there, so that we can run electrical and water to our pond. So everything is pushed around to allow for them to dig the trenches and the pond. And this is all the roots and sticks that they got out of these holes. But that is part of the infrastructure of our pond at this point. And I did get another 10 bags of mulch put down in our flower beds. And so the flowers are still going through transplant shock a little bit. But they're looking pretty good. The hostas are looking really good. Pretty much the hostas and the palms and the boxwoods are looking really good. They didn't have an issue. Some of the caladiums, and not really this area. My sun patient's down there, it's having an issue, but it's coming back. But mainly this area down here, and I'll show you that when I get to it. It has more sun. It has a lot of bright sun for a couple hours. So that is what's going on there. And then this little pot, I had this little pig pot. It used to be like a croaker sack. I got it from Ollie's last year and I broke it. So I just stuck it in this pot and gave it a calancho and some sedum. So that's looking pretty. And then these cement pedestal pots, they're pretty heavy duty. I got one of these from Ollie's last year, and I went back this weekend and they had them again, so I got the match to it, and I might go back and get a couple more. I just like the way that they look. I think they would look good with the palms and around the pond. And I did go to Lowe's this weekend, and I got, not Lowe's, Home Depot, and got the rest of that mulch. And I've got one of these pygmy date palms, and it was $19.99, and it had 4 palms in it. So I separated the palms, and so now I have 4 palms that I have in pots, and I have another one exactly like this that I potted up. So yeah, same situation with these Majesty palms. I got one plant for $14, and then I split them, and there was actually 6 in here, and they'll grow and be big, and they're actually already big on their own before I splitted them, but they needed to be split. So same thing I did with the hostas, the guacamole, and the Royal Standard. All of these came from 3 plants. I bought 3 plants each and then divided them, and I got enough plants to do this whole garden bed. So you can landscape large areas for little money if you do it smart. Garden, the whole thing about a garden, and the special thing that makes it fun is watching it grow and develop over time and the process. So you don't have to spend a fortune on a ton of giant plants to get instant gratification, which some people want that and need that, and to each his own, but you can do it on a budget. And look for those plants that have multiple plants inside of them. So over here in this area, I put a couple more planters over here that have some petunias, and that one still has sage growing in it from last year, and I put a coleus in there. Got some caladiums. I put in these Provago plants, and the lilies were already here. What I did get from Home Depot along with those date palms is I got some of these pink Thai plants, and they are kind of shocked right now from getting in the sun when they had them more in the shade, and so they'll bounce back and they'll be fine. I did order from Etsy 2 Vitex trees, and you can look up what they look like. They're southern trees. They are very drought tolerant. They like sandy, dry soil, which is what I have here, and they just grow up big, and they basically look like a wisteria that's a tree, or like a salvia that's a tree. They just have big clumps of cone-shaped purple flowers on them, and the hummingbirds and everything love them. I've seen them in a lot of the old neighborhoods in Jacksonville. People have them in their yards, and I have seen a bunch of them in people's yards, and I wanted to know, what they were. And when I found out what they were and how great they grow and how fast they grow and how beautiful they are, I wanted to get some for my yard. So my plan is to put one right there and one right there, but the seller that I bought from, I bought 2 of them as a package deal, but they usually will send a 3rd plant. So if they do, I'll have to figure out where I'm gonna put that at, but I don't have a problem doing that. And then right here, I got to move my jasmine. This used to have a wire fence here, and I got all my garbage packed right here to take out. But yeah, I got to move the jasmine because it needs to go somewhere else. I'll probably put it on my chicken pen or my chicken fence for it to grow on there, so that I can cut this flower bed back so the gate can be fully realize the 6 foot of space we have there for getting lawnmowers and what not through there. And then over here I just put a couple more Thai plants, and I have my jasmine, my Arabian jasmine, a plumbago, and I put some bulbs for the blue hostas in there. And then this plant right here is just begonias, wax begonias with one of the extra ferns that were in the Majesty ferns, and some of my sedum. And you'll see sedum in all of my pots as kind of a spiller plant. I just bought one plant a long time ago, and I let it go wild in whatever pots that is in, and it doesn't, get killed by the winter or the frost or the sun or anything. And I use it. It just keeps multiplying and get bigger, and so I just be able to spread it around in all my pots to add a pop of brightness to them and spiller effect to it. But that is the 5-day update. You can see from here what it looks like, but I just wanted to show some of the infrastructure part of the pond going in, because the pond is a big part of this backyard makeover. We still need to get our trees trimmed back, the rest of the leaves raked up. We're going to put some topsoil in here and plant our grass seed, because these trees have grown out a lot since I had them trimmed back. Last time I had them trimmed back was like 7 years ago, and 5 or 7 years ago, and they have grown a ton, and they're shading pretty much everything. Like right now you can see the yard is fully shaded. This is our bog filter. Over here you can kind of tell how big it is. It's a 300-gallon tank, and you can't really tell how big this thing is until somebody's standing in it or something's in it, and then you realize how big it is on its own. It just kind of don't look that big, but when you see something in it, you kind of notice the scale of it. But it's 1,000 gallons. So we're gonna have our bog filter back there, and then we're going to have a waterfall, and we have a load of rocks coming on Wednesday, all different size rocks, granite rocks, river rocks, boulders, flat rocks, slate rocks, that will be building everything. And Marty has ordered the plumbing to put it in, so this is kind of more involved than just your regular DIY swimming pool. pond that a lot of people do for fun in their backyard. It is more expensive, but we want it to be more of a permanent fixture in our yard and be done right from the beginning so that we can enjoy it for years to come. So that's what we did today. I actually just worked my regular business, running our business, and 2 of our employees came and dug these trenches and the holes and everything for us today. So I guess the roosters are going to start crowing, so I'll cut the video off there.